Most people buy a watch to look rich. Smart people buy one because they understand something everyone else missed. A movement that outperforms watches 10 times the price. A brand quietly rewriting its own history. Today we're counting down 10 watch brands that separate people who know watches from people who just wear them. Number 10, Grand Seiko. Set a mechanical watch on your desk right now and check back in a year. Most will have drifted by minutes, maybe more. This one drifts by seconds. Total, for the whole year. Grand Seiko built the SLGB003 around their new spring drive caliber 9 RB2, and the accuracy rating is measured in seconds per year instead of seconds per day, which is the standard everyone else in luxury watchmaking uses. Wrap that in a 37mm high-intensity titanium case with the Evolution 9 design language and a dial texture to look like a winter forest, and you've got something that feels less like a watch and more like a quiet flex for people who actually understand movements. The screw-down crown and 100mm water resistance mean it's not some delicate showpiece either, it's built to actually be worn. This is the kind of piece that doesn't shout for attention on a wrist. It earns respect the moment someone who knows watches finds out what's ticking inside it. And once they explain what the seconds per year actually means, you'll never look at a normal chronometer rating the same way again. Number 9, Citizen. Say the word Citizen to most people, and they immediately think of eco-drive. Solar power, no battery changes, practical stuff for practical people. Fair enough. But that reputation is also hiding something most shoppers never bother to look for. The Series 8831 mechanical GMT is a fully automatic movement with anti-magnetic construction, a sapphire crystal, and an integrated sports bracelet wrapped around a genuinely modern, angular case. It's built to go head-to-head with Swiss sports GMTs that cost significantly more, and most people never even think to compare them because Citizen's mechanical side just doesn't get talked about enough. The dual time zone function alone makes it a legitimate travel piece, not just a design gimmick tacked onto the dial. That's exactly why collectors who dig a little deeper keep circling back to it, quietly picking one up while everyone else is still comparing spec sheets on watches twice the price. Number 8, Nomos Glashütte. There are Swiss brands worth billions that still outsource major parts of their movements. Nomos, a much smaller German manufacturer nobody outside watch circles has heard of, builds nearly everything in-house. The Club Sport Neomatic World Timer runs on their in-house DUW movement, packed into an impressively thin automatic case, with a world time complication that lets you switch cities with a quick, satisfying motion. The design leans into clean Bauhaus lines, no clutter, no unnecessary flourishes, just precision dressed up as simplicity. That philosophy runs through everything Nomos makes, and it's a big part of why the resale value on their pieces holds up far better than people expect from an independent brand. For people who value substance over branding, this is one of the smartest buys in independent watchmaking right now, and one of the few world timers you can actually wear to the office without it looking like you're trying too hard. Number 7, Omega. Anti-magnetic sounds like a spec sheet buzzword until your phone, laptop, or induction stovetop quietly throws off your watch's timekeeping without you ever noticing why. It's a real problem, and it's only getting worse. Omega's Railmaster was originally built for railway engineers and scientists working near powerful magnetic fields, and the 2025 version brings that same DNA into a master chronometer certified piece with extreme magnetic resistance and Omega's coaxial escapement. Sapphire crystal front and back lets you actually see the engineering doing its job, and the vintage-inspired dial keeps things looking calm even though there's serious technology happening underneath. It's a vintage-inspired dial solving a very modern, very real problem, which is a rarer combination in watchmaking than most people realize. Number 6, Seiko. Dive watches have a branding problem. A lot of them look tough but have never seen anything deeper than a swimming pool. Seiko's Prospex Marinemaster SLA081 isn't playing that game. This is the newest generation of a lineage genuinely built around professional diving credentials, running an automatic high-grade movement, finished with the kind of Zarazza polishing you'd expect on watches costing far more. It's ISO certified for actual dive use, not just dive-inspired styling for brunch. That polishing technique alone takes a trained craftsman years to master, and it's the same finishing method Grand Seiko uses on watches sitting at a completely different price point. If you want a watch that's a tool first and a status symbol second, this one earns that reputation honestly, and it'll still be doing its job long after trendier dive watches have been retired to a drawer. Number 5, Oris. Nobody thinks about service costs when they're buying a watch. They think about it 3 years later when the bill shows up and ruins their week. Oris designed the caliber 403 family, found in the 2025 Big Crown Pointer date, specifically to fight that problem. It's an in-house movement with a 5-day power reserve, anti-magnetic protection, and a recommended service interval stretched out to 10 years, backed by an extended warranty that's rare in this price range. The pointer date display itself is one of the most instantly recognizable design signatures in Swiss watchmaking, tracing back decades in the Oris catalog and still looking fresh today. Smart buyers don't just look at the price tag. They look at what happens 5 years after the purchase, and Oris clearly thought about that too, which is exactly the kind of long-term thinking that separates a good buy from a smart one. Number 4, Breitling. For most of its history, Breitling has been the chronograph brand. Ask any collector, and they'll immediately picture a busy dial packed with subdials and a rotating slide rule bezel. That's what makes the Top Time B31 such a big deal. It houses caliber B31, Breitling's first ever in-house 3-hand automatic movement, wrapped in vintage racing-inspired styling with a genuinely modern case architecture underneath and a healthy 78-hour power reserve. COSC certification seals the deal on accuracy, and the racing pedigree isn't just for show either. The original Top Time was worn by motorsport drivers back in the 60s. A brand doesn't build its first purpose-made 3-hand manufacture movement in decades without something to prove, and that's exactly the energy this piece carries on the wrist. Number 3, Longines. Longines has one of the deepest, most legitimate aviation histories in all of Swiss watchmaking, stretching back to some of the earliest transatlantic flights, and most casual buyers walk right past it without knowing that. The Spirit Zulu Time 1925 leans hard into that legacy with a COSC-certified GMT movement, a durable ceramic bezel, and independently adjustable local hour hands so travelers can jump time zones without disturbing the rest of the watch. The vintage pilot styling isn't decoration, it's inherited, right down to the details that early aviators actually relied on in the cockpit. And despite that pedigree, it sits at a price point that makes brands with far less genuine history look a little overpriced by comparison, which is exactly the kind of gap smart buyers love to exploit. Number 2, Tudor. There's a specific kind of watch buyer who wants Rolex-level engineering but refuses to pay the Rolex-level markup. That buyer eventually finds Tudor, and once they do, they rarely look back. The Black Bay 68 comes in a new 43mm case, carries Meta's Master Chronometer certification, and runs on a manufactured automatic movement rated to 200 meters water resistance. Add the T-Fit micro-adjust clasp for on-the-fly sizing, and you've got specs that genuinely rival watches costing 2 or 3 times as much. Tudor and Rolex share the same parent company, which explains why the build quality lines up so closely even when the price tags don't. Enthusiasts have quietly nicknamed Tudor the smart collector's Rolex, and honestly, the reasoning behind that nickname holds up under scrutiny every single time. Number 1, Rolex. Rolex hadn't launched a genuinely new collection in over a decade. When it finally did, it didn't play it safe. The Land Dweller is Rolex's answer, and it's built around the all-new Dynapulse escapement, a genuinely rare shift in the brand's movement architecture that pushes the caliber to a high-frequency 5 Hz beat rate. The integrated bracelet and honeycomb dial give it an identity distinct from anything else in Rolex's current lineup, wrapped in a completely new case design from the ground up. For a company that usually refines existing designs in small increments, starting from a blank page like this is almost unheard of. This isn't just another sports watch with a new name slapped on it. It's Rolex signaling one of its biggest technical leaps in generations, and that's exactly why collectors everywhere are paying attention, and why it easily takes the top spot on this list. 10 brands, 10 different reasons to be smart about how you spend your money on a watch. The real flex was never the logo. It was always understanding what's actually happening under the dial.